had the longest trip of my life on the bus on Saturday. So I got on the bus. I was going to see Kate. We're taking her dad out for Father's Day. And then I get on the bus, and I'm just sitting there, and like I'm on my phone, and the dude in front of me has a huge, like, grocery-sized bag of celery. Like, raw celery. And he's just, like, out of his grocery bag, he's just pulling this raw celery out and munching down, you know, not even, like, washing it or anything like that. Sure, whatever, you know. Farmer, put away the DDT. I don't care about spots on my celery. Leave me the birds and the bees. But while he's munching down on this raw celery, his girlfriend's, like, going to town on his neck and, like, giving him a hickey. And he's just like... And she's giving him a hickey, and I was like, this is fucking weird, right? So I tweeted about it. I was like, ha ha ha, let's make fun of this stranger I've never met, right? And then all of a sudden, we hear like a little like crash thing, and then police sirens, and everyone's like, what the fuck happened? Apparently, this driver hit the bus. So like the mirror on the bus got cracked, and then the police pulled him over. He was surrounded by police cars in like half a second. So they pulled him over, and then we couldn't go anywhere. The police officer was like, it's going to take like 15 minutes for the bus to be ready to go again, because we're going to ask the bus driver some questions. So we just, like, got out, and the bus stop was right next to us. So we just sat there waiting for another bus, and in the meantime, they gave the driver a sobriety test right in front of us, like a breathalyzer. You got to breathe hard. We'll tell you if you're not breathing hard enough. So he does it, and then immediately after he finishes, they're just like, you're under arrest. And they put him in handcuffs and then put him face down on the sidewalk, and he's just, like, crying on the sidewalk because it's traumatic, right? So this is fucked up. I was like, this is the craziest bus ride I've ever been on. And then the same bus that we were originally on pulls up and is like, come on, get on. So, you know, I took a seat, and admittedly, I was sitting in what are known as priority seats, you know, seats reserved, not reserved, but, you know, for the elderly and physically disabled people. But there was nobody taking up these seats. Nobody at all. I was the last person on the bus. So I sat down in the seats, and then this guy from the back of the bus yells at me and is like, you're not disabled, are you? And I'm like, excuse me? Like, I basically went like, didn't I do for my subscribers?
Did you get any subscriber?
And then he's like, you don't look disabled to me. And then he's like, these seats are reserved for people who are disabled and elderly. And I was like, I turn around, and normally I would just like hide like fucking crazy, but he's calling me out. So I was like, I'll get off I'll move when they get off. And then I was like, I'm sorry, because I'm Canadian. And he did the ultimate Canadian faux pas, which is like, he accused me of being impolite, which is like, I'm not going to stand for that shit. And then he thought about it for a second, and he's like, you're not sorry, you're selfish. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy, man. And then after, he called me a homosexual pejorative. And I was seriously, like, tweeting the whole time, like, what the heck what world do I live in? And then the bus also had to stop for maintenance, like, 10 minutes later. So I was like, you know, I'm never going to take the bus again. It made me want to buy a car for the first time in my entire life.